right? We only have a few moments. We only have a few months to change everything, right? I mean, you guys hear me say this a lot. It's like right now, we're the caterpillar in the cocoon, right? We're in the cocoon right now. Here we are. We're just sitting here waiting. What are we waiting for? Are we developing these wings? Are we going to come out of this thing in a month or two as a monarch butterfly to take flight? I mean, this is where we're at, guys. This is what we need to focus. Now, some of you could just say, whatever, sit back and just, let's see what happens. But I mean, wouldn't it be a shame to come out of this knowing that you had about 4 or 5 months to actually do something with your life that you've been bitching about for the last 20 years? I mean, think about this. Every excuse that you've been complaining about for years, this is your reset, right? This is your opportunity to come out and really, really spread those wings and fly. So amazing opportunity, guys. They've moved the cheese. It's what are you going to do with this, right? I mean, I look back, I know people, I mean, I bought houses back in 2010 and I'm selling them now, right? They're all being sold right now. And I've maxed out the income that I could make out of those houses. But the thing is, so many people wish, they go, oh, I wish I got involved back then. You know, I wish I had that opportunity. You know, I didn't see the opportunity and I missed it, right? This is it. This is it. The time is now. You are going to miss it again if you don't get involved. And that's what we're here tonight, okay? Tonight we're here to talk about mindset, right? The wealth building mindset. We're here to talk about why the wealthy, or not even just the wealthy. I mean, guys, I volunteered to give up work. I could be at work right now. I said, you know what? I'm out. I don't want to do it. I'm taking myself off the essential list. I'm not working because I choose not to work. And do you know why I can choose not to work? Because I did what Brian's going to teach you guys. I've done these things. I've created these multiple sources of income. Right now, I'm living on other sources of income. So without that, let me introduce Brian. I mean, some of you out here, a lot of you that are on this call probably know Brian, okay? Brian Domaso, he is the top. He's a top performer in the, well, before I get into that, let's back up a little bit. I mean, Brian, he wasn't always Brian Domaso that you know now today. I mean, he actually started just as humble as all of us. You know, he was an engineer working 9 to 5, you know, just cracking 6 figures. And, you know, he told me, he goes, man, I was 40, 42, 43 years old. And he goes, I was just cracking 6 figures. He goes, I just felt like that was a failure in my life at this point. Now, some of you are like, wow, 6 figures is pretty good. But he's like, man, I'm mid-age now. And 6 figures? He's like, really? I should be way ahead of it. I'm way ahead of that. But he had it all. He had all the toys, had all the bells and whistles. He's a pilot. This guy flies for fun. You know, he doesn't have to fly for work. He actually gets to fly for fun, which is amazing. Motorcycles, boats, had all of it. And it all just came to a crash and halt, right? The $1 million house. He had all of it, and it just came to a crash. And it was an event that he was at out in Vegas back in, I want to say 2015, that it was the first time, you know, that he saw Bob Proctor. Had no idea. I mean, this is a guy, he's an engineer. This kind of thinking is totally, you know, opposite than the left brain type analytical personality that Brian is. But when he saw, you know, Bob Proctor for the first time, and they were talking about paradigms and shifting and self-image, he said that he walked out of there, I mean, practically in tears. I mean, he just said, you know what? I am going to work for this guy. I'm going to work right next to this guy. This is where I'm going. He came home, I mean, literally got rid of everything, moved into a 1-bedroom, just said, this is it, I'm going. He made a decision, so committed, guys, so burning, that this desire was so hot that he did whatever it would take and just would not let anything, sacrificed everything. He's got 15 businesses right now. I mean, this guy, he's a CEO right now, a managing partner of the Matrix Incorporated. He's got a construction company. He's got luxury gaming. He's got a software company that's going to be worth billions, right? He's got an apparel company. And, you know, he's the #1 earning producer for Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. So he's the #1 dude. And I mean, he's just the nicest guy. And he's from Boston. I mean, what else could you want, right? He's from Boston. So of course, being from Boston, you know, I mean, right on, that's for Brian. So anyways, but guys, here's the thing. This guy's goals are so big. Not only is he working next to Bob, he jet sets with Bob. I mean, it's not, I mean, you guys have probably seen pictures of him around where he's flying out to Vegas, hitting the casino with Bob. I mean, he's right there with Bob. So he's one of Bob's right-hand man, right? Which is amazing. But the thing is, he's got a construction company, $10 million a year, guys. He's closed it down. You know why he closed it down? Because it was in the way of his goal. Now, how many of you is on here? I bet there's a lot of you on here that'd be like, you know what, if I had $10 million a year, that's my seagull. That's beyond where I could imagine going. You know, 10 million a year I'm done, right? Brian's going for billions. He's going to become a billionaire in the next 2 or 3 years. And what he told me, he said, Jeff, he goes, you got to understand, 10 million a year, it's such a time suck that it's in the way. It's not going to get me to a billion if I keep this company. So I need to get rid of it so I can clear a path because I can see where I'm going. He told me, he's like, he's locked in. So with all that and without any further ado, let me introduce him. Here he is, the guy from Boston, Brian Domaso.
Hey, brother. How you doing? It's good to see you guys. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you. Sounds
Jeez,
good.
I don't know how to follow that introduction. I was waiting for, like, who is this dude? So no, honestly, thanks for that. And one of the biggest blessings of work with Bob is honestly meeting guys like people like you and Gloria. You know, we get to meet people. I think we have friends in about 70 countries right now, just from that business. Every time we meet in Toronto or LA, we'll work with people all over the world, teaching the wealth mindset. And really, this is the passion. I know it's the passion for you. It's the passion for me. It's not really an income thing. It's more of being able to connect the dots for people. I get really jazzed up when I can just connect the dots for somebody, teach them a little bit about business, maybe even teach them a business model. We're going to do that here tonight, and really just get them to start to think and act and operate like the world's wealthiest people think and act and operate. And it's actually not that big of a deal. It's not that hard. It's just not taught in school. So what we're going to do here tonight, guys, just do a little bit of wealth mindset training, just kind of open your minds up a little bit. And then what I want to do is I want to show you a revenue stream that was the first revenue stream that took me from the employee mindset to the entrepreneur mindset. It was the first revenue stream that introduced me to Bob Proctor. It changed everything. So what you're going to see here tonight is what I call like a gateway drug into entrepreneurship. It's a home-based business model that anybody can operate that has a ton of leverage, and that led me to, as Jeff said, 12 other companies and being CEO of a few different companies here. This is where I learned to public speak. I learned to train, and it's very, very simple. So, but before we get into that, I'm going to just go through a little bit of wealth mindset training for you guys. And I want you to really open up your minds here. And I'm not saying you got to believe everything I tell you. Just be open, right? Just be open. Make your own judgment, your own determination. But open up your mind to what we're going to say here, because the fact of the matter is that 96% of the world's wealth is earned by 1% of the population. Let that one sink in for a minute, right? 96% of the world's wealth is earned by less than 1% of the population. Well, why is that? Everybody goes through the same schools and college and things like that, but a fraction of 1% are earning all the money. And I didn't make these numbers up, right? This 93% of people get to retirement age here in America, right? And they have to work second jobs, 65, 70 years old, 75 years old, just to make ends meet. So what that tells you is that the system's broken. The way the masses think is incorrect, right? It's incorrect. And what we're going to show you here tonight is how the world's wealthiest people think and act and operate. And it's not hard, right? It's not a difficult thing. It's just not taught in schools. And that's really what I want to show you here tonight. Wealth building is just simply not taught in schools. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. I went 43 years, like Jeff said, rowing the same boat of ignorance. I call it American broke, by the way, Jeff. When you're cracking six figures at age 40, that's American broke. And there's no judgment here. Some of you might think that's a big number, but not at 43 years old. I mean, I was a mechanical engineer. I was a solar engineer, an architect, a builder, not with that kind of information, right? So I had superior traditional education, but I had inferior results. I mean, I know 18-year-old kids inside of the network marketing space, they're making $500,000 a month, right? So it's all about awareness and understanding. It's learning decision-making. We're not taught this stuff in school. We're not taught about self-image. We're not taught about wealth building. There was no classes in wealth building. They didn't teach us anything about real estate or Amazon stores or social media marketing, right? Not about true wealth building. And they certainly didn't teach us about paradigms. So what we're going to chat here a little bit about, guys, is something we call paradigms. And this is really the crux of what Jeff and I and Gloria teach. And the fact that you guys are here and working with Jeff and Gloria in the Mindset Group is just amazing. You guys don't know the lottery ticket that you have. And some of you may be undervaluing it because it's free. But when you understand the impression of increase, the reason why Jeff and Gloria have the free group is because it's energy out, right? It's the impression of increase. But don't undervalue that, right? Human beings, for some reason, we don't value free. The best things in life are free. Love is free. Health is free. right? It's easy to make money. All the information's free, but for some reason we don't value that. So don't undervalue what Jeff and Gloria are doing here. All right, guys. So what we want to talk about is what a paradigm is. And honestly, a paradigm is just a big word. It's a fancy word to describe a set of mental programs that have almost exclusive control over your habitual behavior. So I want you to think about that, right? A paradigm is a set of mental programs that have almost exclusive control over your results, right? So if you're earning 50K a year right now, that's not because you want to earn 50K a year. That's because that's what you're aware of. That's the program you have in your mind. Warren Buffett has a program called $37 million a day. It's just a program. All right, so I want you to think about your subconscious mind like an operating system in a computer. Really think about this. You have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind, and you have a body. And your subconscious mind is like an operating system in a computer. All it does is store programs, right? And when you're born, you're a blank slate. You don't have any programs, right? You don't have a program called walking or speaking or eating. You don't have anything. You're just kind of sitting there. And if it wasn't for your parents, we would all just die. Right? It's funny, human beings are so powerful and fragile all at the same time. So we're born a blank slate, and then we get this programming over time, right? From our parents and then from school. So none of this is your fault. And even, $500,000 a year, nobody's earning $500,000 a year because that's what they want to earn. They're earning $500,000 a year because that's what they're aware of how to earn. And there's a big difference. And we're going to get into that, guys. So think about your subconscious mind like a data storage center, and all it's doing is storing programs. And when you were born, you learned a program called walking, and you never would have learned to walk if it wasn't for your mentors, also known as your parents, right? So if we need mentors to learn how to walk, then you definitely need mentors to learn how to build wealth. I have mentors, Jeff and Gloria have mentors, Bob has mentors, Warren Buffett has mentors, right? So what you come to realize is that the wealth building information is not taught inside school systems. It's taught by mentors, and it's passed on by generation, right? So we have programs called walking, smoking cigarettes. That's a program. That's not a physical addiction. It's a mental programming expressing as a physical addiction. You guys see what that is, right? The mind controls the body, not the other way around. So here's the thing about the subconscious mind. It doesn't know good from bad or big from small. It just knows if I have a program, I'm going to cause the body to move in this direction. So smoking is a program, and so is wealth building. That makes sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. And if you're on Facebook, just type a 1 in the chat, because every result that you have in your life, whether it's your physical body, whether it's your relationships or your financial status, these are just programs. They're not good or bad or big or small. And again, none of this is your fault. But if you want to change the program, right? If you're doing 50K a year and you want to get to 50K a month, all you got to do is rewire the operating system. It's actually very easy to do. And we're going to teach you a little bit of that here. And you're going to learn a lot of that if you stick with Jeff and Gloria in the mindset course here, right? So guys, we're talking about the science of wealth building. And none of this is my opinion. It's not, we don't have the laws of opinion, right? There's a law of cause and effect, a law of polarity, but these are not laws of opinion. And I'm going to give you a little bit of the history of the content here, right? This content comes from Andrew Carnegie back in the late 1800s. And Andrew Carnegie, if you don't know who he is, right? He was the world's first recorded billionaire. So none of this is my opinion. It's not Jeff's opinion or Gloria's opinion. What we're talking about is the science of wealth building, right? And Andrew passed on that information to Napoleon Hill. A lot of you know him from the book, Think and Grow Rich, right? He spent a good part of his life studying and then creating the book, Think and Grow Rich, and the success manuals that shaped a lot of the industry today, right? So Napoleon Hill passed on this information to Earl Nightingale. And you might not know Earl Nightingale. He was around in the 50s and 60s, but he was listened to by more people around the world back then than any other recording artist. And he was talking about the secret. And he was talking about the secrets of wealth building and things of that nature. But it was still kind of not mainstream, And Earl Nightingale mentored Bob Proctor, right? And Bob is my mentor. He's Jeff's mentor, Gloria's mentor. This is where we get this information. So none of the content is Bob's or mine or Jeff's or Gloria's, right? It's the science of achievement. And it goes back long before Andrew Carnegie as well. It goes back to Wallace Wattles and all the way back to Jesus and the apostles, right? This is not new information. It's just not mainstream information. Does that make sense? And I don't have to prove this. Just look at the results. See, my background is engineering. If 97% of people are failing, that tells me that the school system's broken. Otherwise, we'd have 97% of the people succeeding. that make sense, guys? So the numbers line up. Less than 1% of the population understands the material we're going to teach you here tonight, and less than 1% of the population is earning almost all the wealth. So it's just numbers, right? You just got to look for results and numbers. And like I said, myself and Jeff and Gloria, we're passing on this information. Bob's mentoring us, and we're certified to teach this information on a global scale. All right, so when I say the science of wealth building, it's the science of wealth building. This is not a Tony Robbins course, right? And there's nothing wrong with Tony Robbins. He just doesn't understand at a deep level what a paradigm is, how it got there, and how to shift it, right? Bob is the only person on the planet, and he's teaching people like us on how to teach this to the masses. So you're not going to get this information outside of this circle here and people that Bob trained, right? So we're going to show you how the 1% thinks. And guys, you'll see this is very straightforward. This is not a hard concept. The way that we're programmed, the way that you're programmed probably right now, and the way that we're born is that we're programmed to look at our results, right? We look at our current bank account, we look at our body, we look at our relationships, we look at the world right now, we look at the current results, and we use those results to cause our thinking for the day, right? This is why most people are just kind of droning on, because they're in kind of Groundhog Day. They don't like their job. They're sort of half like their relationship, and they don't like their body. These are all choices, though, right? And again, I'm not here to beat anybody up. I was rowing the same boat of ignorance for 40 years. But the problem is that we're conditioned to look at our results. It causes our thinking, and that thinking causes our feelings, right? That thinking for the day causes our emotional feelings. Now, when I say the word feeling, what I want to say is that feeling is a word that we use to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that you're in. I want you to think about this. Feeling is a word that we use to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that you're in. So if you tell me you feel sad, what you're saying is I am consciously aware that I'm in a low vibration. That makes sense? And if you tell me you feel excited or happy, you're saying I am consciously aware that I'm in a high vibration. Now, people that earn a lot of wealth are constantly in a high vibration. It's a direct relationship, right? Depressed people have a chaotic thought. People that are succeeding at a high level, they have very clear, focused thoughts, right? So if we're using our results to cause our thinking, and the thinking causes the feelings, it's the feelings that set up the action in the body or the non-action, right? Low vibration leads to procrastination and depression. High vibration leads to action, success, prosperity, and faith. Does this make sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat if you're watching on Facebook or in the group here, if this is resonating, because what I'm showing you here is not a hard concept. Now, what I want to show you how is, well, the 1% thinks. This is how Jeff and Gloria and I have learned to think from this education. We twist this 90 degrees out of phase. See, the 1%, we start with our new thinking every morning, right? Jeff was telling you, my goal is $21 billion in net worth and assets by age 55. All right, so I start with new thinking every morning. I don't look at my current results because I'm not currently a multi-billionaire. I am in my mind and I am in the energy state, but I'm waiting for the physical state to catch up, and that's a whole nother seminar. But regardless, I start with new thinking. It raises my vibration. I'm excited every single morning. I am just excited to pop out of bed and get after it because I love every single thing I do. And Jeff wasn't kidding. When he told you I shut down a $10 million construction company, it's purely because I know what? I just didn't like doing it anymore. I don't do anything I don't like to do now. I've become aware. If you get really good at what you love, you can make millions and millions of dollars. And that's what I do. What I'm doing here, guys, I love teaching. I love coaching and training. I'm doing this for free just because I love doing it, right? So these are the feelings I'm talking about, and you can probably hear it in my voice. That's what high vibration is, right? Voice is energy. It's sound and motion, right? So these new feelings set up new actions. It causes the body to do different things. This is why you saw Jeff go from an airline pilot to an entrepreneur. Now, most people, again, would say, you're crazy. Like, that's a dream job, dude. It's like, I would love to be there. But it's all levels of awareness. Once you get there, you realize, you know what? These hours kind of blow. Like, flying is awesome. But what Jeff likes about flying is the private stuff. He doesn't really like carting all of us around. He thought he did back in the day because they paint the picture of what that looks like. But then you get there and you find out that you're getting cancer through the radiation of the windshield. And like, this is not a good thing long term, right? So that happens to a lot of people. It happens to doctors, lawyers, it happens to CEOs. People say, I'm a doctor, and they get there and they hate it. But now they've spent 20 years and they think I'm a doctor. It's like, you're not a doctor, dude, right? You're a spirit living in a body, and that's just something you do to earn money. And because they don't think they have other outs, They don't think of other ways to make $500,000 a year. They stay in the profession. We're going to show you guys how to make $500,000 a year, $500,000 a month, or whatever it is you want to do, because there's no such thing as big or small. So the new feelings cause new actions, and the new actions have to, by law, cause new results. Not by opinion, but by the laws of creation, cause and effect. All right, guys, type a 1 in the chat if this is resonating, because in this picture here, we can get you guys a snapshot of this. You want to think like this, 90 degrees out of phase from the rest of humanity. Don't look at your results. You don't look backwards to run forwards, right? And you don't work with ice cubes to get warm. So why would you look at your current results to try to create new ones? That makes sense? And we're going to show you guys how to shift this 90 degrees out of phase. All right, so let's talk about some income strategies. Let's talk about how most people are programmed and how the 1% are programmed. All right, guys, most people are programmed, and I was too for the first 40 years, traditional M1 strategies, right? This is contractors, roofing. I was an engineer. This is an engineer, right? M1 strategies are where you're working for an hourly wage or a salary. That's an M1 strategy, right? And it's the worst possible way to build wealth, yet 97% of the planet has been taught that's how you build wealth, right? That's not how you build wealth. Now, there's nothing wrong with roofing or plumbing or being an electrician unless you're using that to build wealth. It's a horrible way to build wealth. If you love doing it, then do that. See, we work for pleasure. We earn money through leverage. I'm going to say that again. We work for pleasure. We earn money through leverage. That makes sense, guys? So that's an M1 income strategy. If you're an educator, that's an M1 income strategy. And again, I have the utmost respect for teachers, but it's a horrible way to build wealth because there's no leverage, right? There's no leverage. And people think, oh, I got the summers off. It's like, yeah, but you're doing 80 grand a year and you got your summers off, but you're going to have to do that for about 30 years. And then hopefully squeak by with about $1 million. And that's if the market doesn't tank. So the strategy is just flawed, you know, but this is how we're taught. We're taught M1 income. And even doctors and lawyers, people that are my clients, they come to me and they're like, man, how do I get out of this illusion, this invisible prison that I've created, right? And they're making $500,000 a year, but they can't escape, right? They can't escape. They have all these pressures. They have all these insurances and malpractice and just all this stuff that they had no idea, but they've invested so much time in it that they can't escape the invisible prison because they don't know how to make $500,000 a year or more doing something else. And we're going to show you how to do that tonight. So even a doctor or a lawyer is M1 income. All right, guys, so then you have M2 income. Now, M2 income is where you squeak a little bit of money aside and you start to invest it, maybe in the stock market, maybe you give it to somebody and they know what to do with it. But it's where you take money and you make money with it. And Jeff talked about a couple of things he was doing in real estate. So M2 income is earned by about 5% of the world. Only about 5% of people have any kind of leverage by either owning a business or multiplying their efforts through other people, through time, and through money. My construction company is actually an M2 revenue stream, right? I had subcontractors, employees, multiple jobs, project managers. So I was earning money off of M2, but if I left for 6 months, that business would collapse, right? That business would collapse. All of my revenue streams now, every single one of them is an M3 income strategy. Now, sometimes we have to start with M1, move it into M2 and M3, and I'm going to explain that. But ultimately, you guys want to set up M3 revenue streams, and I'm going to show you what some of those look like. So real estate is an M2 strategy, right? Because even if you have a 3-family, you're renting it out, you're getting paid every month, there's some leverage there, but you're still doing the renting, you're still doing the shoveling and the lawn care. As soon as you hire everything out and start to build some properties, let's say you get up to 30 units and you have a property manager and they're doing everything. I mean, you could take off for a year to Bora Bora and you have somebody else running the whole thing. That's when it becomes an M3 strategy. Does that make sense, guys? So you can go from M2 to M3, and a lot of times we have to. In the business I'm going to show you here tonight, that's what it is. It starts off as an M2 strategy, and it quickly moves into an M3 strategy. All right, guys. Now, M3 income is just beautiful. Again, that's where you have, 100 units, right? You have 100 apartment buildings, and they're all, they don't have to be paid off, but you have somebody else running the deal, and it's just cash flow positive. You got 50K, you got 100K a month coming in, and you can literally just live your life all over the world. That's what M3 means. Less than 1% of the population is doing this, right? And in this picture here is Grant Cardone. So he's got M3 strategies. Now he still works, but he doesn't have to. If he wanted to, he could just stop. He could just delegate, and he could literally just do whatever he wants. He loves the game. This is global monopoly to him. This is what this is, right? And now the other dude in this picture you might not know, his name is Alex Morton. He also trains one-on-one with Bob Proctor. He trains in the exact same information we're giving you here tonight, right? He trains in the wealth mindset. And this young man is coming up on $2 million a month, and he's still in his 20s, right? And it comes from network marketing, the industry of network marketing. We're going to show you something here tonight that's in that industry. So whether it's real estate, network marketing, building a software company, have a software company. See, that's an M2 strategy that's going to turn into M3, right? I'm working that business now. I'm the CEO and the VP of marketing and sales. So I put a lot of time in now, but when we sell the company, we're going to be popping bottles on Jeff's jet, right? And that's how it works. So sometimes what you got to do is have an M2 strategy for a period of, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, years. And then you turn it into an M3 strategy. All right, guys. So M1, M2, M3. What we're here to talk about tonight is an M3 income strategy. All right. And I want you to think about something. If you're familiar with the new social media app called TikTok, have you guys seen this? I did one of these things with my daughter the other day. I'm like, what is this thing? You got to understand, there's 15-year-old kids on TikTok getting paid $50,000 per post, because they have millions of followers. And if they do a product ad, if they have an Apple iPhone in their hand, they'll get paid $50,000 per post at 15 years old. So I promised you, you're probably just not aware of all the ways to make money these days, right? And that's what I want to show you guys here tonight. So we're going to go through an M3 income strategy. And I want you to think about something. Most of this you may not be aware of. If you were, you'd already be doing it, right? If you know how to get to 100K a month, you'd already be doing it. So you got to open up your mind, open up possibilities. I'm not asking you to believe anything here. I'm just asking you not believe it. Just be neutral. All right. This is my daughter, Madison. She's cracking over 100 grand a month. Her and I work multiple businesses together. And this is one of them. So the company we're going to show you here tonight is an online business model called VIV. Right. And what VIV is a technology platform, right? VIV is Latin for live. So their tagline is Vive Life Better, or Live Life Better. And what it is, again, is a technology platform very similar to Uber or similar to Airbnb. Uber is the largest car company in the world, but they don't own any cars. Like, really think about this. Everybody watching here has watched Uber go from nothing to a $50 billion global company. Now, the people that were paying attention are the millionaires and billionaires of the company. Everybody else said, what are you, crazy? Let me get this straight. You're telling me you're going to get people to use their car, their gas, their insurance, let strangers get in the car, and they're going to start hauling them around, and this is going to go global? Like, you're out of your mind, dude. I'm not investing in that. Do you see how flawed the thinking of the masses is? We use today's results to try to predict the future. It's the visionaries. It's the people that say yes and then figure it out. Those are the ones that gets ahead. And you guys are going to have a choice to do that tonight. And either way is fine. Airbnb is the same thing. Imagine this. If I came to you in 2008, hey, Jeff, what's up, dude? I got an idea. Listen to this one. Sit down. This is it. I'm telling you. We're going to convince people all over the world to take their spare rooms and sell them to strangers. Have them come from all over the globe and sleep in their living room. Are you in? Throw in 50K. We're going to crush this thing, dude. That's exactly what Airbnb is. Think about it. All right, guys. So VIV is a category disrupting technology, very similar to Uber or Airbnb, but it's just coming up on 2 years old. Not a lot of people know about it. There's less than 3,000 people that have this business model. Think about that. Now, what we're doing, guys, is we're revolutionizing the way people pay their bills. We're not changing the way they pay their bills. We're revolutionizing and bringing awareness and understanding to the fact that they could be paying less. So, guys, who do you know that uses electricity? Who do you know that uses internet or has a cell phone? Right? Look at the services we have here. What we're doing is we're highlighting to people, we're educating the people that there's over $60 billion a year being overcharged to you and me and people like our families for things like cell phone, internet, cable, TV, all these bills we've been paying. Just think about it. 10 years ago, a cable bill was $29 a month. Now it's got another 2 in front of it. Like, where'd that 2 come from? $229 a month, $300 a month for cell phone, right? So we've been getting overcharged, and people don't understand that we can negotiate these bills. So VIV is a technology platform. We have a nationwide network of negotiators in all 50 states, and it's called Autopilot. Right now, this is an online business that any one of us can have. I have this business. I was one of the first distributors. This is the one that led me to Bob Proctor. I did everything that you heard Jeff say. This business was the gateway to that. All right, guys? It's a heavily leveraged business model that we can operate off of our cell phone. So when we're sitting with our customers, if I was sitting with Jeff, I say, hey, dude, let me see your electric bill, your cable, your internet, your cell phone. All we're going to do is upload them to the platform. And the way we do that is we take pictures. And that's the end of the deal for us as distributors. All we're doing is piquing interest, playing a little 2-minute educational video. We're letting people know that we can reduce your bills. Now, guys, I want to be really clear here. What we're doing is we're not switching services. All right, we're not, if you like Verizon, we're not saying, hey, let's go to AT&T and save you some money. All right, we're not switching services. And more importantly, we're not changing a buying habit. Right? We're not changing a buy. I don't have to convince you to use your cell phone. I don't have to convince you to use internet. Everybody's already doing this, right? And we're not downgrading the services either, right? We're not saying, hey, let's take your bill and chop some services and get it from 300 to 200. What I'm saying is VIV has a nationwide network of negotiators. When we as distributors upload bills, these people go to work and they negotiate the bills lower and we split the savings. All right, guys, so this is like dragging and dropping pictures on Facebook. That's all we're really doing here. And the next thing that somebody's going to get, guys, is an email like this, right? This is one of my realtor friends. We uploaded her Comcast bill, and you can see here we saved her over $1,800 on a 2-year contract. This is an actual customer, right? At $80 a month, we saved her. Now, what happens is we split the bill, right? We saved her $80, so we're going to bill her $40 on a credit card. Right, so what I want you to understand, guys, this is all dead money. What that means is people can't go negotiate themselves. Like we have bills in all 50 states. We have people that are certified trainers. We have the metadata from all 50 states, which means we have the information from tens of thousands of bills. So we know what the bottom line number is. You guys won't know that stuff if you try to negotiate yourself. And we also know where all the credits and the taxes and the fees and the discounts and rebates are. The other thing is people aren't going to spend 10 or 20 hours trying to figure out how to lower their bill. So think about the simplicity of this. It doesn't cost anything to upload your bill. There's absolutely no risk to this, right? There's no fee, there's no risk. When you upload your bill, we're going to go to work on your behalf. The worst case scenario is that we can't negotiate it and you get an email from us that says, congratulations, you're in the lowest possible rate that you could be. We'll check back in 6 months. All right, guys, so this is the bill negotiations. The other thing is we're in commercial. This is not just residential. Here's a small commercial bill. You can see here we went to an insurance company, and this is just their phone bill. 6 landlines. We saved over $8,000 on a 36-month contract. So again, $4,000 went to the company, $4,000 to VIV. Now, as distributors in VIV, we get paid out of the half that goes to VIV, right? We get paid about 30% of what goes to VIV. Now, VIV is the company. That's the brick and mortar company, right? They have a CEO. They have the whole operation, and they have negotiators in all 50 states, right? So they're the ones doing all the work. We are just lead generation, and we're getting paid monthly residual income on all these bills. All right, guys, so I want you to think about that. The first set of services we have on the platform is bill negotiation. The second set of services we have as a pro member is we have a discount travel portal. Right? This is just like Priceline or Expedia, except we have wholesale rates. We're not paying the $6 billion a year that those companies are paying in advertising. All right, guys, so this is something that's very, very powerful. Well, up until 2 months ago, I was using this all the time. I personally saved over $8,000 last year booking travel through my own portal. And as a pro member, this is one of the things we get. We have a deep discount travel portal. Another thing we get as a pro member is something called MediCall. Right? Think about right now, everybody is being told to stay home. Don't come to the hospitals. Don't go see the doctors. What we have is a home-based telemedicine. It operates off of a telephone or a Zoom call just like this, and it's good for you and up to 5 family members. And what you can do is you can just call in and get prescriptions. You can call in because your kid's sick. You can hold the kid up, say, oh, it's an earache. It's an infection. They'll prescribe right over the Zoom meeting. So if you have elderly parents, if you have young kids, if you have prescriptions, this is a very, very powerful service in all 50 states, and it's part of that pro membership. All right, guys, another thing we have on the platform, again, You got to remember, VIV is a technology platform. We have a lot of vendors, and what we're doing is we're bringing things to people that help them out. We have an alliance with a national tax strategy company. What this company does is they'll take your 2018 and 2017 taxes and they'll review them. When they review them, they have an average savings of $4,000 to $8,000. They actually go backwards and they highlight mistakes that either you or your accountant have made. Now, I've seen hundreds of these things. I have yet to see them not find something. They saved me $28,000, $15,000 from 2018 and $13,000 from 2017. One of my clients, they got back over $200,000. This is a higher end client of mine. So guys, we have the ability to offer these tax strategy sessions for $99. As a pro member, they're free. People like myself, Jeff, Gloria, we're pro members. It's $189 for the business model and $69 a month. And this is one of the benefits we get is this tax strategy session. All right, guys. So in the residential space, we have a whole host of things that can help people. In the commercial space, for those of you that have commercial contacts, we have a 3-phase value proposition. Number one, we can do the bill negotiation. We can do the same thing. We can lower cell phone, internet, cable, electric, TV, all these things right on our laptops. I could go into the General Electric company and do that. And the bigger the bills, the bigger the savings, the more monthly residual income we get. So if you've ever been in direct marketing of any kind, here's one of the things that separates us from the entire network marketing industry. Number one, we don't have a cost. I don't know any other company in the world where you're not paying for the service up front. Number two, we're recession proof. Even back in 2006, 7, and 8, when people stopped paying their mortgage for 3 years, they didn't stop paying cell phone, internet, TV, cable. These companies will shut you off within 2 months. And the third thing is we actually have the ability to do audits. We can go into the commercial world and earn 5, 6, and even 7-figure commissions. So for those of you that have commercial or corporate ties, we have something for you as well. And that's called bill auditing, right? We have the ability to go into corporations and do an audit for free on things like electricity and water and sewer and gas and all these things, internet, cable. And we can look up to 4 years backwards and we can claw monies back that have been overspent. So think about all these restaurants that are shut down, all these hotels, all these industries. Right now is the time you could be going out to them and offering a free audit, cost them nothing, and saying, hey, whatever we get back, this can help you during your time of need here. So think about the alignment here. And then the third thing we have in the commercial space is we have a whole suite of energy efficiency products, right? And these little guys, they go on heating and cooling equipment. They go on things like walk-in coolers and freezers, and we guarantee to reduce energy costs by 10 to 30%. Right now, I have a deal going through with 900 subways all over the country. That's what I mean. We can play in the large commercial space, and that'll probably be a high 6 or a 7-figure commission for me and my team when it goes through. All right, guys, so lots of things we have here. And here's an example of one of these energy efficiency deals, right? It was a 117 location convenience store. We saved the client over $500,000 a year, year after year after year, forever, as long as they own the stores, right? These things have a lifetime warranty. They have no moving parts, and they're guaranteed and warranted for life. And this was a $60,000 commission for the VIV consultant. So think about this. Think about a part-time business model. You can still work your job. You can build this on the side. We teach a 5-hour-a-week business model where you can start to build up commissions, a book of business, monthly residual income, so that 12 months or 24 months from now, you can do like Jeff did, and you can say, I'm out of here, right? These are the type of things that let people like Jeff and I close $10 million businesses. This makes sense, guys? This is how you start. There's no risk to this. It's a $189 startup and $69 a month. But this is why I call it a gateway into entrepreneurship. All right, guys? So, and here's an example right here. This is in my team. This is last week, I think it is, or 2 weeks ago. $214,000 we got back, right? That a company got overcharged. They get overcharged. So 107,000 went to the company, and 107,000 went to VIV, and about 24,000 went to the distributor that was underneath me for a commission. All right, so I'm not making any of this stuff up. This is real dollars. This is happening all around you as we speak, and we're some of the first people in the company. So guys, I like to say everything from 18-year-old kids with cell phone and internet all the way to the largest companies in the world, we have something for everybody. All right, guys, so here's the value proposition. Millions of people are sitting home. We have a home-based business. Millions and millions of people need to reduce their monthly bills. That's exactly what we do, and we do it for free. All kinds of people could use an extra 4,000 to 8,000 back on their taxes, and they could sure use to stop paying so much on their taxes going forward, right? And then we have home-based medical. Think about how VIV is positioned right in front of this virus. My business literally tripled in the last 12 weeks. And I had a pretty big business to begin with. Jeff saw it happen. This is one of the things that made him jump in, right? So think about this. And we have a recession-proof business model. Recession-proof. This is a hedge against real estate. This is a hedge against the stock market. All right, guys? So I'm going to show you guys how we get paid. But this business is a business in a box. It's a business in a box. It's a $189 startup. Everything you need is in the platform. We have all the marketing, all the branding, everything for like ClickFunnels, social media marketing, all the hyperlinks, excuse me. Everything you need to run the business, that's what you get on the portal. You get your own branded website. There's a back office. This is where you upload bills, right? Everything you need to run is a $189 startup and $69 a month. So as far as businesses go, not to sound ignorant, it's a joke, right? I mean, there's no operating cost here. My construction company was 25 grand a month just to keep the doors open. All right, guys, and I was barely able to crack 10 figures with it, or 10 million, sorry. So think about this. There's no income caps to this, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how we get paid here. All right, guys, there's 5 ways that we earn. 5 ways that we earn here. The first way is we get paid upfront commissions, everything from $75 for a pro member, all the way up to what you saw was a $60,000 commission on a commercial deal, and even higher into the 6 and 7 figures. So we get upfront monies and bonuses in a lot of different ways. And just let me take 2 seconds here, guys, to plug my laptop in because it's telling me it's about to go dead, and that would be not good. All right. The second way we get paid is monthly residual level pay. I'm going to say that again. It's monthly recurring residual pay on all these little bills. Every time you have a sale, you're going to get paid every single month on that sale for life, right? We have a 96% retention ratio. So what this means, this is a unilevel program. It means we can sponsor to unlimited width, right? It's almost like the Keller Williams real estate model. Actually, it's identical to that. If I was a Keller Williams real estate agent, I can sell properties. I can list and sell properties, but I can also recruit other agents, and I'm going to get paid on their work. And that goes 7 levels deep. So that's what we're doing the same thing here. You can have your own VIV business, but you can also share to other people, and you're going to get overrides on their business. And you can do that for 5 people, 50 people, or 50,000 people. There's no caps on the commissions here. There's no limits on how big you can build this. So if you want to earn 500 a month, I can show you how to do that. If you want to earn 5,000 a month, I can show you how to do that. If you want to earn 50,000 or more, I can show you how to do that. That all depends on what you guys want. But the reality is the business model is here. And we also get paid 6 levels deep in commissions. So that's the annuity. That's the retirement plan part of this business. The third way we get paid is weekly base pay. And what this is, instead of getting rank advance bonuses, we get guaranteed weekly base pay. And I want you to think about this. If anybody here has ever been in a direct marketing company, they have rank advance bonuses, right? You get to a certain rank, they give you an extra 5,000, 10,000, even 50 or 100,000, but it's a one-time bonus, all right? In our company, we have weekly guaranteed pay. Once you hit a rank, they're going to give you an additional, you can see here, $50 a week, $100 a week. It starts off small, but $100 a week is 5,000 a year, right? And when you get a weekly pay raise, it's 5,000 a year, year after year after year. So 20 years from now, that's 100 grand. But it gets bigger than that too. 500 a week, 1,000 a week, all the way up to 2, 3, and 5,000 a week. So I want to ask you a real important question here. Think about what it is you're doing for a living. Whatever it is you're doing for a living. Think about working there 10 more years. 10 more years. And if you did that, are you going to get a guaranteed $5,000 a week for life? If the answer is no, then you might want to jump into this model, because if you work this business part-time, 3 years, 5 years, let's say it took you 10 years to get to the top rank, you'd have a guaranteed 5 grand a week for life on top of the upfront pay, on top of the residual pay, on top of all this other stuff. So think about that. Is your vehicle right now going to get you a guaranteed $5,000 a week if you keep working the next 10 or 20 years? If the answer is no, then you might want to jump in with us here. All right, guys? Now, this is not a lottery ticket. At first, I want to back up a little bit. This is not a lottery ticket. This is a business like anything else. We have a weekly method of operation. I teach a 5-hour-a-week business model. I teach people how to prospect, what to say, how to say it, who to go after, the whole thing. But it's not a lottery ticket. It's a business, all right? I just want to be clear here. And the fourth way we get paid is generation pay. Generation pay is very similar to level pay, but it's a leadership pay. And right now I'm a gold partner in the company, and I get paid 4 generations deep. So it's gold partner over pay setter. These are leadership pays, and this can pay down dozens or even hundreds of levels deep. All right, guys. Now the fifth way we get paid is profit sharing. This is very much like the General Electric company. When I worked there for 10 years, I get quarterly profit sharing. Right? We get 2% profit sharing, just like a corporation, at the partner level, and another 2% at the executive level. So just to summarize what that looks like, between 3 to 5 years from now, this company will be $1 billion company. It happens all the time. It's not uncommon for a direct marketing company to go to $1 billion in the first 3 to 5 years. So when we hit $1 billion, 2% of that would be 20 million, right? So $20 million will be going into a pool, which I get to share in. Anybody else that's a platinum partner, they'll be splitting in that pool every quarter. All right, guys, so I want you to look at the bigger picture here. Again, that's probably not going to happen in the job that you're in right now. All right, guys, so that's a brief overview of the business model and all the services and products. What I would say to you now is that you're either an A or a B. An A is like, you know what, this looks cool, but it's not for me. But I'd like to save some money on my bills. And I'm going to show you guys how you can upload your bills here. Now, I want to reiterate to you, there's no risk to upload your bills. There's no upfront fee, right? You upload your bills, we negotiate the bill, you pay the exact same bill, nothing changes. We're not altering your plan. We're not extending your contract. You literally upload your bills, we negotiate them. If we save you $100 a month, you're going to get 50, we're going to bill you 50. It's straightforward. It's a very simple, straightforward thing. So either A, you want to be a customer, or B, you want to be a business partner, work with me and Jeff and Gloria and a whole host of other people, and become your own customer. And I'm going to show you guys how to do both. All right, guys? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch screens, and we're actually going to go to Jeff's portal. For those of you that are watching that want to join us in this business model, I would just trust your intuition. If this resonates, I would jump in. If it doesn't, don't do it. I'll be the first one to tell you, we're not trying to persuade anybody to do this. What we're looking for is hungry people that are like-minded, that want to run. And if your intuition is saying that this looks like a good deal, then I would jump in. If your intuition is saying don't do it, then I wouldn't do it. All right, guys? So I'm going to switch the screen here. Just bear with me while I go over to Jeff's portal. All right, Jeff, can you see that right there, buddy? I think Jeff might be muted. Just nod your head if you can see that. All right, cool. So what we're looking at, guys, we're looking at Jeff and Gloria's portal. If you guys see the value in what we're doing here, I put a link. Let me put a link in the Facebook group here.
No, we're not looking at it.
Oh, you're not looking at it?
No, we're looking at your slides.
All right, just bear with me for a second.
Now we're looking at it, yep.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is just Jeff and Gloria's portal. It's a business model. You can see here, Jeffrey Smith loves you. And we're going to show you guys, if you're watching this and you want to be a customer or a business partner, I'm going to give you the operation. Right? If you want to be a customer, you click on the Enroll Now button. So you go to jwsmith.justviv.com, and you know what we can do? We can probably put that in the chat.
We can put that in the chat.
Yeah, throw that in the chat while we're going here, Jeff, so they can just click on it. And Gloria, if you could do the same thing, I already put it in the Facebook chat once. If you go through the chat, you can find it and just repost it. It'll allow those guys to hyperlink right to your portal. All right, so we click on the Enroll Now button. Right, you click on Home because you're a residence, and you click on the state you're in. So if you're in Texas, you click on Texas. Right, and you click Continue. Now what you're going to do is just click on the bills that you have. If you have internet, you click on internet. If you have a bundled service like internet and cable and TV, you click on that. If you have a cell phone, you click on that. So you just go through the services. If you have home security, if you have pest control, If you have satellite radio, whatever you have, you can just click on those services. Now, when you do this, you're going to have copies of your bills. So I'm going to show you this. This is recorded. You guys are going to be able to go back through this. If you want to join us tonight as a business partner, what I would say is don't input your bills right now, but just click on the pro membership down here. Click on the pro membership. We can get you activated as a pro member. It's $189 startup. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work with you guys. We're going to grab everybody that signs up tonight. We're going to do a special fast start training, and we're going to get you guys up and running and building. All right. And Jeff and Gloria are fairly new in this business. So what we're looking to do is build a nationwide team in all 50 states underneath Jeff and Gloria. And that's one of the things I'm helping to do. So I'm the top trainer in the company, guys. I'm the #2 income earner. And I don't say that to impress you, but I say that to impress upon you. If you guys are joining this business tonight, you're going to be in a team that understands the wealth at a very, very high level. And we actually teach this inside of our trainings as well. So if you want to join us as a pro consultant, you just click on that here. You click on checkout. You fill out your name and all that stuff. You just follow the bouncing ball, your gender, your birth date. You put in your personal website, right? Jeff's is JW Smith. You can put whatever you want. Mine is my company, BMK Associates. But you put a website handle. You enter your payment, right? Your credit card information. You click on the boxes confirming, you read the agreements, and you click and move forward and click accept and pay now. All right, guys. Now, when you do this, we're going to see that you became a business partner. We'll reach out to you. We'll grab a hold of you. We'll do a live Zoom meeting. We'll do a live training. We'll get you going. The other thing we can do is we can also help you upload your bills. All right, guys. So you guys have the links here on how to upload your bills. You can see that there. I'm also going to include 2 videos. When we get done the chat here, Jeff, what I'll do is I'll include a business overview video and also a video that shows them how to enter their bills if they just want to become a customer. All right, guys. So let me go back to the slide deck here. All right, so you guys looking back at the slide deck? Cool. All right, guys, so what we're talking about here is the science of wealth building. What I just gave you was an option. You don't have to join us. It's just something we're offering you guys. Jeff asked me to come on. He said, listen, I have a bunch of crazy people from all over the world. They're entrepreneurs. We're forming this group. It's really got a lot of energy. He asked me, would you come on and share a business model, something that anybody can do, something that's like a stepping stone into entrepreneurship? And I said, I'd be happy to do it. But what we're talking about is building the wealth mindset, right? So what I just gave you was a vehicle. That's step 1. Step 2 is you got to build your mindset. You got to build your mindset. 95% of success is mindset. I want you guys to think about this. Wealth is 95% mindset, and it's 5% of what you do. What you guys are doing here with Gloria and Jeff in this group is mindset training. That's the bigger part of this. The vehicle we just gave you, that's just an option. If you want to do it, great. If not, no big deal. But the mindset training you're getting here is the key. All right? I'll prove it to you a couple of different ways. In life, you could be a stock trader on the stock exchange, right? Or you could be a stock trader. Think about that. The difference is mindset. It's not trading stocks, it's the mindset, right? You could be in real estate, right? Or you could be in real estate. Think about this. Same industry, different mindset. What you guys are doing here with Gloria and Jeff is mindset training. It's 95% of the deal. What I just gave you is a vehicle. Real estate's a vehicle. Network marketing's a vehicle. You got to find a vehicle that has leverage, though. That's the deal. You have to find an M3 vehicle, whatever that looks like for you. All right, guys? You could be a network marketer, right? There's about 150 million network marketers globally. Or you could be a network marketer. Right? You could be like me. You could be like Alex. Alex earns a lot more than me. He's been doing it a lot longer, and he's also full-time. This is like the 6th thing I do. It's a part-time thing. I spend about this much energy in it, but it has a lot of leverage. All right? And Alex makes about $2 million a month, and he's still in his 20s in network marketing. You guys see the difference? It's all about mindset training. 95% mindset, guys. And this is what you want to do. You want to stick with these guys. All right? You want to stick with these guys. You want to understand mindset. If you want to get anywhere in life, mindset, mindset, mindset. And then we just gave you a vehicle, guys. So I want you to imagine 6 months from now, 12 months from now, you said, screw it. I'm going to take a dive in. I'm going to jump into the pyramid scheme. I want you guys to imagine what your life would be like, right? Look at the story of my life, Jeff's life. Look at what's going on. Pay attention. Where do you want to be in 12 months? Where do you want to be in 24 months? By the way, Alex, that young kid, owns one of the penthouses in this building, right? 29 years old, 28 years old. How'd you like to be able to work from here? If we didn't have this coronavirus, I could literally be in this picture working all of my businesses right now from anywhere in the world. That's what network marketing is. You build a book of business. You can operate off your cell phone as long as you have a laptop and Zoom. The reason I was almost late for this meeting is because I had 50 people down in Texas doing a training in this business that I've never met before. They're all in my business. Think about that. Imagine, where do you want to be? If you want to be like the people in this picture, you have to make decisions like the people in this picture. And at some point, they said, I am going to stop thinking like the masses, and I'm going to do what the masses call silly, insane, or stupid. Right? That's what the masses say about network marketing. They don't understand. It comes from ignorance, guys. I'm showing you the professional side of network marketing. The people that I work with make 6, 7, 8, and even 9 figures in network marketing, over $250 million. Think about that, right? Think about that. If you want to have what the successful people have, you got to make decisions like successful people. All right, guys, so that's my time here today. Hopefully you guys get some value out of this. Jeff and Gloria, I appreciate you bringing me on. Hopefully this was of service to you and your team here. Hopefully you have a few of your people here jump in with us. I'm happy to do some specific trainings. We can do some Mindshift VIV trainings specifically for your group, and I'm happy to do that. It's been my pleasure. If you have any last closing comments here, guys, feel free to just unmute yourselves if you can. And let me see if I get control here. There you go. There you go, my guy.
There you go. You got everybody locked up. Anybody got anything? That was amazing, Brian. Oh, it's a pleasure having you on here. You know,
Yeah,
I love
happy
having
to do
you
it,
come
man.
out here. Yeah, man. I can't wait, you know, with that software company. This is going to be really exciting. So I'm looking forward to absolutely popping bottles.
100%, 100%.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for coming out. Does anybody got anything for Brian? This is it. This is your chance to come on and say anything. Like, they did have a question, though. There's quite a few people on here that are international. So this hasn't gone international yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. So stand by. It's coming to your country soon.
Yeah, we're expanding internationally soon. What I would say is, I mean, we're going to have this recording. You can have it on your Mindshift wall. You know what I mean? You can pin the recording. So as your team builds and builds and builds, anybody that's in the States, we can start to run with this. And as soon as we start going international, we can absolutely start running with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming out here.
Happy to do it, guys. It's been my pleasure.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing as usual. Thank you.
All right, guys. Be well. God bless. We'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Brian. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.